Something that's interesting about all this trans phenomenon is how, on the one hand, there's this outspoken, common knowledge um, trans movement, which is fully out in the public eye. It's backed up by pseudoscience, some pseudo medical um, infrastructure, but it's not a secret by any means. On the other hand, we have the duplicitous, secret, and hidden trans movement, which has been going on for longer than I realised. I was at my friend's last night, and we just happened to put on the television, and this film was on. Transformers: Dark of the Moon. I don't think this is the latest Transformers, but I was kind of just sitting there watching it, not really paying much attention. But Shia LaBeouf, or Sam, his girlfriend in it, Carly, which I think is it the same character that used to be played by Megan Fox, but now in this one it's played by Rosie Huntington Whiteley. So I'm sitting here watching it and I'm thinking, there's something's not right about this girl. And it took me, after I kind of started thinking about it, it took me a couple takes of looking at her to really decide. But I'm fairly certain she's one of these trans, or the hidden ones. Now, Rosie Alice Huntington Whiteley is an English model, actress, designer, businesswoman. She's best known for her work for lingerie retailer Victoria's Secret. So the secret of most, if not all, of the Victoria's Secret models is that they're actually men. But it's just interesting to me that they call these people models, actresses, designers, businesswomen. These are the ones that are going to take over, and they're being given the titles, the deeds, and the access to everything. So we can pretty much say that this Jason Statham. Wait, what? What? You got to be kidding me! So this is a gay man. This is obviously a gay man, because this is not a woman. This is a man. It's fairly obvious when you actually start to look at it. I mean, you watch the film, and the whole way through the film, they give you the impression that it's this gorgeous woman. But as soon as you start thinking about it, you realise it's a man. It's 100% a man, and the only way that you don't see it is if you're completely blind to all of this, or it's not the eyes. It's you need to have the knowledge first, and then you get the eyes to see it. But it's a man. There's absolutely no doubt about it. And one of the biggest giveaways for me now is the extremities of the limbs. These Victoria's Secret models. I've always had this impression or this feeling that there's something weird about these people. It's as if they're born into this higher class of human body, and you look at them and they're just, they're almost just a different species. But now I realise what it is. It's the extremities of the limbs. It's always been because they're men masquerading as women. So these women are going to look different because they've got the extreme male proportioned limbs. You know, much longer legs, much larger hands, bigger frame, especially at the shoulders. They have a lack of hips, which has always been blamed on anemia and bulimia and eating disorders, but it's not. It's because they're men, and men don't have any hips comparable to women's hips anyway. But this film Transformers was 2011, which was 7, nearly 8 years ago now. So we've had almost an entire decade of the trans women, men, women, being normalised to us on the screen. And while they've got all this going on, and they're hypnotising people with the Victoria's Secret models, at the same time they've had the very public out in the open trans. You know, these were first. These are all men, all of them. That's why they have these such, you know, they're like Satan's whores, they're Satan's harlots, but really they're men, they're sodomites that are pretending to be women. But I just find it bizarre. 10 years of this indoctrination, at the very minimum. It's probably been going on twice that. But it's you know, the people doing it, why are they so sick? How does it satisfy them knowing that it's a lie? This is a man. This is probably a man. This is probably a man. Well, I just had to pause the video because my mum walked in and I happened to I told her what I was looking at, and now I'm a weirdo and a loser. But that's by design, you know, the women will be turned against you to support the mind control. Because that's how it needs to work. The women control the collective consciousness, and you know their minds are filled with this kind of stuff, so that they never question anything. But I'm really surprised. I didn't know that this was a gay man. That's really shocked me. But it's once you can see it, you just see it. It's a man all day long. But yeah, you know, sometimes the pictures don't always do it justice. That's a man. But when you watch the film, they find it much more difficult to hide it in moving frames. What's this? I mean, it's probably a man as well, isn't it? Let's be honest. Is that Nicole Kidman? I think it is. Oh yeah, I just thought it was interesting. You know, like I say, the main thing to take away is there's been a decade of it now. A decade at the very least of this brainwashing occurring through the screen. The slow but surely hypnotising of the whole world, I suppose.